Looks like some contracts are coming up. Moves are happening. Coaches are moving on. Not a great way to end the season with the loss to BYU. Lots to talk about as we head into the end of the year. Portal movement still possible. We're going to talk about it. Let's roll the intro, baby. Come on. Yes, sir. Good to see you. Happy to have you back. Obviously, tough loss to BYU, 14-36. Travis Hunter, Shador, Shiloh, a couple others last game for the Colorado Buffs. End of an era. I did see some people talking about it, which was very interesting in the comments section. With his sons now leaving, it's going to be different for Coach Prime. And a lot of people may feel like it's going to be better. Because, look, as much as he says hey, he separates two, and I believe that he does, you got to believe there's always kind of a sense of as a father myself, you just have that, you're always thinking of something else. You're always kind of thinking one step ahead and having to worry about something. It could cloud a judgment. And you may not notice it at the time until it's gone. There's some clarity. So, look, I think there's only a up but here for the Buffs. I think they continue to capitalize on the momentum from the season, from the Heisman winner, just from the production they've had with players. Wouldn't be too concerned about it. And look, you got to wonder, too, with these moves that happen, there's some breaking news with some coaches moving on, which we'll get into, but you got to wonder because these things broke just, today after the game, is if this news already kind of went around. And look, bowl games, it's fun to talk smack. You want to win those games. They're important. And I don't believe Colorado went into that game not wanting to win. You never want to play a game to lose, but is there a lack of focus? Does it carry the same oomph as other ones? No. And so if this news is kind of circulating, you just kind of feel like it all is coming to an end. It feels like it's over before it's actually over, right? And I'm not making excuses. You never want to go down that way, but it is what it is. It's done and over with. It's time to move on and head into next season. Look, I think there is no true offseason. We obviously have some teams left that are still playing, that the portal will still be active. There'll be some coaching contracts that will be expired. There's obviously two places that have to be replaced now. So there'll be some coaching news that we'll be talking about in the next week or a couple of weeks or month. Who knows how long this will take to replace these guys. You got to believe there's probably some names already on the board. Now let's talk about this because I think the biggest name for me was Phil Loadout. I've had some compliments to him. I think he's done some great things with the recruiting. Obviously landed Seton, and I think Seton's had a great year. Has the O-line been perfect? No, it's had its issues. Was it better than last year? Yeah, I think it was. Was that great? I mean, look, how much better? It's low bar from last year, right? So you want to continue to move up. I think Loadout kind of came in and did some great things. But when you take a look at sacks allowed, Colorado ranks 126 out of 133. They allowed 43 sacks this year. Now, some could argue, look, Shador kind of held on to it, but 43 is egregious, okay? You had New Mexico, Army, Georgia Tech, all with 5, 6, and 9 on the year. So top 70 only allowed 26. So almost double that. And with a quarterback like Shador gets the ball out quickly with the wide receiver talent that you have, you could also argue that, he probably prevented a lot of sacks too. So I think some people were kind of indifferent. I saw kind of an overall feel. Cardi Smith tweeted out kind of like a shocked face. Again, I think a lot of players loved him, appreciated what he brought, but I think there's other ways you can go. I also took a look at the Mississippi State, their sites, how their fans were feeling. They are in a much worse situation. You know who was in last? Or excuse me, for Mississippi State, Oklahoma was last. But Mississippi State, they were saying, look, you can't get any worse than where they are already at. So they were kind of in the boat that, look, Phil does a great job recruiting, and they were just happy to move on. So there wasn't this overwhelming sensation of, like, we just stole one, but they did feel like they made an upgrade. Now, as for where Colorado's headed, Duke the Scoop, obviously he's connected with Well Off Media and very well connected with Colorado football, tweeted out a few names I've been keeping an eye on. He said Brian Braswell, ex-Maryland offensive line coach. He was and again, Maryland made a heavy push there at the end for Jordan Seton. They ranked, I believe, 70th when I looked. They were kind of in that 26 range of allowed sacks for the year. So has NFL experience, has great technique. Could he be somebody they go after? Alex Atkins, he was the offensive coordinator. Got paid. He was getting paid a ton at FSU. He was recently let go. No news on where he's going yet. That would be a massive hire. That man can recruit and can coach very well. why he was let go. Obviously, FSU had an atrocious season. He was also the offensive coordinator. So there could be, look, he's maybe not an offensive coordinator, but could do a great job with the O-line. That'll be no issue there. So, look, a lot of names to be, to look at. The fact that kind of Duke the Scoop, again, somebody who's really close to the program, kind of hit the ground running with these tweets leads me to believe that there is some expectation of where they're headed and not to worry too much. And also, Mississippi State is also hiring Vincent Dancy as he's going to be their cornerback coach, I believe, from what I was reading. So, two coaching moves that will have to be replaced. I saw some people saying, can you take Pat Sherman with you as well, too? Again, when you're allowing 43 sacks, you got to wonder how that's kind of hard to call plays for as well, too. So, that's going to be a big focus, I imagine, for the Buffs going into next season as well. KC Conception from the wide receiver, he committed to Texas A&M. Obviously, we are following along with that on whether or not he would commit to Colorado. So, as the next few days happen, I believe some contracts, whose contracts will be up. That part I don't know, but some people sign 1 year, sometimes sign 2. So there could be some more coaching moves that happen over the next day or so that will happen with the Colorado. Of course, bringing some in as well. Also, to Travis Hunter, shout out to Travis, 100-yard receiving for this last game, signed a deal. So now he has an agency now, given the fact that he's now a pro. And this is going to be so fun to follow along him, Shador, Shiloh, and others from this Buffs team into their NFL journey. Definitely something to see. In New England, I know at one time was intrigued with Travis Hunter. I think he was positioned to go to them. They now have the first-round draft pick. I don't believe they're in they just took Drake May, so they're not in eyes of a quarterback. And I made this argument a few weeks back. I go, look, Travis Hunter may be the first-round overall draft pick. And I don't believe there's been a cornerback / a wide receiver. Yes, not a cornerback. And we're gonna take the quarterback card here, taking number 1 overall. And he would be a huge asset to the Patriots. And right now they hold the number 1 spot. So could be interesting to see. And he signed with Young Money, Little Wayne Sports Agency, APA Sports, which is awesome to see. And again, huge for Little Wayne too. I mean, this is going to be the biggest athlete. Yeah, the biggest athlete, I would say, going into the NFL next year. And I think the NFL draft is going to have so much buzz that it hasn't had in years. I mean, it's been great over the last couple of years. Don't get it twisted, but there is a lot of top tier talent that is going to be fun to watch transition into the next year. Now, it could be top heavy. I'm going to take a look into it. I don't know, but I'm really excited to see what Travis Hunter, where he goes and how this draft unfolds. And again, I think New England's locked it in. I'm not sure, but they hold it right now. So again, there's one more game left to really decide how it all shakes up and how it plays out. So we'll be keeping our eyes and ears peeled on that. And of course, keeping our nose on the ground in regards to these coaching movements, other portal movements, because again, even though it closed yesterday and no more people can leave from Colorado, that is the positive with this, unless there's always loopholes, but keep in mind the thought process and nobody else can leave from Colorado, but people can still come in because, of course, with the teams that are remaining in the playoffs, they'll have 5 days after being eliminated. So keep your eyes and ears peeled on the portal, and of course, coaching moves over the next few weeks, and any recruiting visits that will happen in the next few months will be letting you guys be informed on that. And of course, follow this journey as the NFL draft is in just a few months as well. So we're not going anywhere. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love, baby.